Bill O'Reilly here. Welcome to the No Spin News for Thursday, September 28, 2023. Stand up for your country. Now, I am delirious as I bring you this broadcast, so please forgive me if I fumble around a little bit. For the past 48 hours, it's been absolute bedlam on every front. I mean, there's a lot of breaking news. We're going to get to it. Killing the Witches, breaking big. On Amazon, when I sat in a chair, it was number 5, and we'll hope it gets to number 1. And then the Tucker Carlson O'Reilly interview last night. We'll play you a little bit later on the broadcast of that. But it's just like, whoom, 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 whoom. No, I'm not an excuse, but I'm just telling you it's been a lot, and that is the subject of this evening's Talking Points Memo. So begin with the Impeachment Inquiry Hearing today. So an inquiry is basically to state for the record all the things that have been learned in the House of Representatives about the Biden family finances. It's not to accuse, it's not to level charges, it's informational. All right? So Republicans obviously believe that President Biden, as vice president, enabled his family to accumulate millions of dollars, and Democrats don't care. All right? So when the hearing took place today in the morning, it began at 10 a.m., at the Oversight Committee, James Comer chairman, the Republicans are trying to portray Biden as a crook, and the Democrats are saying, no, he's totally innocent and this is a witch hunt or whatever. Love the witch hunt word because that goes right into killing the witches. Now, most of this hearing stuff is so boring, you just can't possibly pay attention to it. But there were a few things that you should know about. First of all, Jonathan Turley is a constitutional attorney. He's an expert. Teaches at George Washington University. About 10 years ago, I kind of discovered him. And I put him on The Factor, and now he is a mainstay at Fox News. Very bright man. And they brought him in to testify today or to answer questions. Roll the soundbite.
Can a benefit to your family be a benefit to you?
It is. There's been a repeated statements that you need to show that President Biden accepted direct money in order for this to constitute a benefit, even under criminal cases that deal with bribery, extortion, the Hobbs Act. The courts actually have rejected that. They've said that money going to family members is in fact a benefit. And I don't really see any legal basis for that. Obviously, the strongest case is if you have a direct payment. But this idea that you can have millions going to a politician's family and that's not a benefit, I think is pretty fallacious.
Now, after that, Turley said that there is not enough evidence against President Biden, in his opinion, to bring impeachment charges. All right, high crimes and misdemeanors. So I thought that was a pretty fair analysis. I agree with Turley that impeaching Joe Biden now is premature. You can say, well, Pelosi this and Trump that, and the two impeachments were ridiculous. And they were. You're right. Absolutely right. Neither of those impeachments should have happened. And they were purely political plays. And that's continued on in the criminal arena. I mean, these cases, most of them are very, very flimsy. Should never have been brought. But we, fair-minded Americans, have a mandate to elevate ourselves above the corrupt people. In my opinion, this Biden family finance stuff is going to ruin Joe Biden. That's an opinion based upon what I've seen so far. And it's not just the gratuity and the money, not just that. It's the Justice Department failure to investigate any of this. Remember, the House committees are investigating, not the FBI, not Merrick Garland. They're not doing bupkis on it. IRS whistleblowers came forth That was good because the American people have a right to know what happened. But if you combine all the money that the Biden family derived for doing nothing, all of the assistance Joe Biden gave his son and brother by getting on the phone, having dinner, whatever it may be, and the subsequent cover up by the Justice Department, FBI, when you combine it all, it's going to bring Biden down. Almost has to. Because there's going to be more and more and more and more and more, right up to Election Day 24, if he's the candidate, which I don't believe he will be, as I've stated. So this is just the start of what is a catastrophe for Joe Biden. And I said that in the summer. Remember I said it? I said it's not going to be a good autumn for the President of the United States. And it's going to get worse. Okay, that's the memo. Now, everybody's asking me, because I'm doing a ton of media for Killing the Witches, did you see the Republican debate last night? I did not see it live because I had the Carlson O'Reilly conversation, I had News Nation, I had the Trump speech, but I covered it in the sense of my staff, which is excellent, all right, provided me with what happened. So I didn't see it real time, but I know what happened. And if I could have watched it, I would have, even though it was unbelievably dull. I don't have numbers. We usually have them. I don't know why we don't have them. But I can almost guarantee you it'll be below 10 million people. And the O'Reilly Carlson exposition, which you can see on BillO'Reilly.com, but we'll get there in a little while. Okay. We're at 15 million views now, I think. I don't know how they calibrate it. I can't vouch for the accuracy, but it's all over the world. So we think in the end, we're going to have 3 or 4 times as many as watched the Republican debate. So the 2 things that I saw from the transcripts that interested me were, number one, the debate was all about Donald Trump, even though he wasn't there. Go.
And Donald Trump hides behind the walls of his golf clubs and won't show up here to answer questions like all the rest of us are up here to answer.
Donald Trump is missing in action. He should be on this stage tonight. He owes it to you to defend his record.
You're ducking these things. And let me tell you what's going to happen. You keep doing that, no one up here is going to call you Donald Trump anymore. We're going to call you Donald Duck.
All right, so these are lines, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, these Republican contenders have to beat Trump to get the nomination. They won't. All right, after 2 debates, and the next one I think is at the end of November or early December, it's over. It's over. Okay? Donald Trump will win the nomination unless something happens. And with Donald Trump, that's almost inevitable. That something else will come into play. But if the primary votes all were held tomorrow, Trump wipes out the field. And it's no fault of the people who are competing with him. There's just no traction. They can't get any traction because this election isn't about issues. It's not. It's about a progressive movement that wants to destroy traditional America. And Joe Biden is the puppet of that crew. And Trump promises to be an avenger. Yes, inflation under Trump way lower. Yes, the border catastrophe under Trump, it was at least calm. Yes, all of that's important. But the overarch of this election is, do you want progressives to run the federal government? And the answer, I think, is no from most Americans. I could be desperately wrong. I'm not desperately wrong about the Republican side. Trump will get the nomination unless, as I said, something else is injected. There's nobody close to him. There's nobody who has momentum. Nobody gained momentum last night. Some people had some good moments and bad moments. Okay, but it didn't really matter. And to watch that was difficult. Roll it.
Viewers as well. It's not nonsense.
So look, I want to respond. Gentlemen, you'll have your turn.
One of the challenges
So listen up.
Can we please focus on the issues that matter?
Tim, from one admirer of Ronald Reagan to another. From one admirer of Reagan to another. We cannot see
This isn't productive.
I want to hear about that.
Let's have a policy debate.
Understand what's going on.
Tower of Babel. It was like, and you can't blame the moderator. The moderator is going to throw pies at them. Now, for me, it would be a different story. Mr. Ego right here. Believe me, it would be a different story. But that's why I've never been invited to moderate a debate. But anyway, Trump was the winner of the debate last night, even though he didn't show up, because none of them dented his lead. So the former president was in Michigan, has to carry Michigan. If he wants to be reelected, has to. Michigan is a vital state for Donald Trump. And he delivers now pretty much the same speech every time he goes out. Go.
The Democrat Party has no idea what they're doing right now. They have no idea what to do. Crooked Joe is siding with the left-wing crazies who will destroy automobile manufacturing and will destroy our country itself. They're destroying our country.
You see, that is the theme, and it's a smart theme for Donald Trump. Banks are canceling law-abiding Americans because they don't like their politics. It's real, and it's un-American. Patriots like Dr. Ben Carson, Larry Elder, John Rich, and experienced conservative bankers have started America's first cancel-proof bank called Old Glory Bank. Old Glory Bank's mission statement is very simple. It's the Constitution. They do not subscribe to ESG, only PSL, privacy, security, liberty. They value faith, family freedom, and the flag. Old Glory Bank has one location only in Oklahoma, but they have top-notch mobile banking, so they can serve customers in all 50 states. Old Glory Bank is a real FDIC-insured bank. You're insured up to $250,000 per depositor. So cancel your bank before they cancel you. Please go to oldglorybank.com, open an account today. Remember, terms and conditions apply, an equal housing lender. Okay, let's get to the mail. We got Kathy says the breakdown of the border is going to be overwhelming and have dire consequences for the country. Take a very long time to recover, if ever. Taxes are going to pay for the migrants, their health care, their children, and everything else. It's true, but you just nailed it. Take a long time to recover from this. George Varnick, Las Vegas. Almost all the ills today in our country can be traced back to Joe Biden's administration, the Democratic Party. All these worker strikes are because people can't afford a decent living with the inflation. And Trump missed that last night in his speech. But that's absolutely true. Thomas Pavlak, Belleville, Illinois. So what is the difference when the presidents use a vacation home for free? I think all public officials need to stop accepting expensive gifts. As long as they make it public that I'm vacationing at this person's house at their invitation, they're a friend, it's legal. Donna Ray, I love the interview with Tucker Carlson. Thanks for all you do, Bill. Appreciate your honesty. I'm even more excited about reading Killing the Witches. It was my free book when I renewed my premium membership. This is the greatest time to become a premium or concierge member on BillO'Reilly.com. Get the free copy of Killing Witches or any of my other book. And we're into the election cycle. Please consider. Judy, that was the best interview I've ever seen. You and Carlson were tops. And Judy is a lifetime concierge member. Judy, thank you very much. Sally Freeze, Leland, North Carolina, great interview with Carlson, so much better than watching the debate. J.P. Rayberger, Boise, Idaho, superb. You and Carlson delivered the absolute best interview and exchange I've seen in decades. John Retal, Savannah, Georgia, I enjoyed the interview immensely. The rapport between you and Carlson was obvious. It was like he was talking to his older brother. Ooh. Yeah, all right. Arlene Welsh, South Lake Tahoe, California. Just finished Killing the Witches. Couldn't put it down. Arlene's one of the first to read it. I give it the highest rating on my Reading Club app. Thank you, Arlene. Very nice of you. Okay, so go to the BillO'Reilly.com store. We got great stuff. Save you a fortune for gift giving. And we got all the books there. And we got the Fall Madness, Legends, Killers, mug. Oh, we got everything there. Okay? Word of the day, do not be meretricious. MERETRICIOUS. Don't be meretricious. Back with a final thought in a moment. Hey, if you watch my program or have been paying attention at all since COVID, you are aware of the risks we all face to our supply chain, critical infrastructure, and the power grid. Cyber attacks, gunfire, pandemics, all on the table. What would your family do facing a months-long blackout? No electricity, no fridge, no phone, no respirator, and an empty grocery store. Well, for Patriots has a new solar-powered portable generator. It harnesses the power of the sun, can be moved around the house, and is used to power essentials in a time of crisis. So don't procrastinate on ensuring your family's well-being at a time they need it most. Please go to 4patriots.com today. Use my code NOSPIN for 10% off. That's the number 4patriots.com. Again, use code NOSPIN for 10% off. All right, here is the final thought of the day. So Killing the Witches surged on Amazon after the Carlson interview and my appearances with Sean Hannity, Mark Levin, Sid in the Morning on WABC, all our radio partners, all 300 stations across the country. So we really are very grateful. It is a very important book, particularly with the cancel culture stuff going on today. You will enjoy it. We hope you consider it over the weekend. I'm going to have a column on Sunday about the CNN dishonesty. It is just stunning, but it is not unusual. In this country, the corporate media has declined to its lowest point ever. And I'll prove that on the column on Sunday. And we always thank you for watching and listening to the No Spin News. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday. Thank you for watching the No Spin News. To watch the full episode anytime on BillO'Reilly.com, please sign up to become a premium or concierge member. Visit BillO'Reilly.com to sign up and start watching today.